Hi, welcome back to the Jessica Ruth Knits podcast. I am Jessica, and I have been away for, it seems like forever. I am so sorry for taking such a long leave of absence. Yeah, so I think I haven't podcasted in a month, maybe a little bit longer. So I kind of feel like I lost my knitting mojo. For those of you who don't know, we live in a tiny house in Arkansas, and we have a farm, and so the past month we've had baby goats. And it's just my time is completely consumed with work, with taking care of the animals. We're milking the goats twice a day. We're feeding babies. We have to give them bottles. So it is just exhausting, in a good way. I absolutely love it, but it tends to take all my time. And it is now getting hot. So I apologize for the sweat here. Normally I have a fan on, but I turned it off so you guys could hear me a little bit better. But yeah, so I lost my knitting mojo. It is now back. It took a trip to California to kind of get it back. I just got back from California like 2 days ago. I went out for my nephew's 1-year birthday. The twins turned 1. So I went out, and I have more big news about California. We're not moving and we're not pregnant, so don't get too excited. But I'll put my big news at the end, so that way if you guys just want to see the knitting portion, you don't have to stay for the whole thing. So, admin stuff. This is episode 15, I believe. Today, I have no idea what day it is. April, I don't know. Let me see. Hang on. I really have no idea. It's April 13th, 2017. It's Thursday, I do know that. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram. My name is Jessica Ruth Knits there, and I post a lot of homesteady photos there. I'm sorry. So if you want to see pictures of the baby goats, of just the farm cuteness, check out my Instagram page. Facebook, I'm Jessica, last name Knits, Knits, and Ravelry, I'm Sergeant Griff's Girl. So it's SGTGRIFFS Girl, GIRL. I'm most active on Instagram, not so much Facebook. I mean, I'm on Facebook, but more Instagram. So if you want to see farm updates and knitting as well, now that I've got my mojo back, go check out Instagram. So tonight I am trying to beat the fading sun. So I'm going to kind of breeze through this. I have prize winners for, okay, I guess let's just talk about our cowl. So we have 2 cowls going on. One just ended and one is a year long. So the year long is, we're doing a garment along. So you can use the hashtag Jess and Jess sweater together. So we're just taking this year and knitting garments for humans. So that can be a sweater. It can be, not a shawl, but like a poncho. And you can knit it for yourself. You can knit it for a child, just not a dog or a doll. It has to be a human. So that one I'm co-hosting with Jessamine from the Knitted Towel, and you can post in both of our Ravelry groups. She has a Knitted Towel Ravelry group, and I have a Jessica Ruth Knits group. Both of those groups have open threads going on, so you can go over and post your works in progress, you can post your finished objects, and you can win prizes. You can double dip, so we totally encourage that. So if you don't know about Jessamine, go check out her podcast. It's The Knitted Towel, and join her group on Ravelry. So that one is the year-long knit along. The one that just ended is the shawl along with Jenny of the Lucky Jenny Knits podcast. So it was January through March. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. And we just knitted shawls. So I am a major failure there. I did not finish a shawl. I started quite a few. I made good progress on a few, but I have not finished one. So I kind of failed my own cowl. But it was fun, and people got to knit shawls, so the whole cowl wasn't a failure. I just didn't finish anything. But yeah, okay, so let's get into the knitting. I have 1 finished object, 1 half-finished object, and 1 middle of the project. So that's all I'm going to show you today, because I am trying to beat the light. It is late. It's about 6:50 at night. So, yeah, I just wanted to get this in. I go back to work tomorrow. Yeah, so let's start with the finished object. I finished my sweater. So this is the Victoria sweater. And it's like this. So it was knit as a shawl. So this portion here is like a triangle shawl. So the back, it's like that. And then I knit it backwards. So what you're supposed to do is knit the triangle and then cast on stitches all the way around like a belt line. And then knit up. So you would decrease going along with the triangle. Because I'm a larger person and my sweaters need length, I knew that if I did that way, I wouldn't be able to make it longer if it wasn't long enough. So what I did is I cast on, after I did the shawl part, I cast on, I think there's like 15 stitches here. And then instead of decreasing from the bottom up, I went from the top down and I increased every other row. And so that way it's the same, it's just the pattern in reverse. So her pattern, I'm not sure who it's by, but I'll try to put it in the down bar. This would be the very bottom hem. And I needed more length. So mine has a good 5 inches extra. Maybe if I hold it up this way you can see. So this is it upside down, but this is I did ribbing. Yeah, so it's probably 5 inches until the shawl starts. So, if you guys need to customize a sweater, just know you can totally do it. It just took a little bit of brain power to figure out how, and then once I knew what I was trying to do, it wasn't that bad at all. And then after that, you just pick up here and you knit the sleeves. It was also supposed to be a 3/4 length sleeve sweater, but I'm always so hot, as you can tell right now. So I do short sleeve sweaters. So I just made mine short sleeve. It's got this V-neck, and yeah, I absolutely love it. So the yarns, which ones I used, I put them all in my Ravelry project page. So again, it's the Victoria sweater, and if you want a challenge, I would totally recommend it. It wasn't nearly as hard as I made it because I customized it. So, but you can totally do it. If you have any other questions as to what I did, I would be happy to help you out as best I can. So, I completed a sweater for the first quarter of our Jess and Jess sweater together cal. And I'm pretty excited about that. Unfortunately, I cannot wear it at work because it is bright and you can only wear boring colors. So, I just get to enjoy it at home. Alright, next, I'll do my shawl. Find your fade. This keeps changing. I'd originally bought 4 hedgehog yarns to use, and I was going to alter the pattern, or not alter it. I just wasn't going to change as often as they change, because I think the pattern has 7. It's by Andrea Mowry, and so I had 4, and I was happy with that until I received some yarn in the mail, and then I changed my mind. So I kept my first 2 colors, and I added 2 new ones in, I think. But I'll show you what I have so far, and I absolutely love it. And, oh good, I'm not in the middle of a row. Okay, so it starts with this yellow, and this is hedgehog. I believe it's fool's gold. It might be pot of gold, but I put it on my Ravelry page. So it goes yellow, and then it fades right there. It starts fading into this white speckly, and then from there it fades into like a blue speckled. So you can kind of see here like it's more blue. These two are pretty similar. This one just has more blue because the next color I'm going to is a lot of blue. So if I went straight from this color to the blue, it would be too like disjointed. So this one will tie in the blue. But yeah, let's get back. Isn't it pretty? I love it. So this was my California trip project. This was the progress marker from last podcast, or last time I showed it. And then I hadn't touched it till California, well, till right before California. This is where I started on the airplane. So I did all of this in California. And it's getting pretty big. It's off Like it's too big for my needles now. But yeah, I'm just starting the point where it stops increasing on both sides equally, and it'll kind of curve over now. So, Find Your Fade, Andrea Mowry, and I absolutely love it. I'm on the last lace section before I start my new color. So hopefully next podcast you guys will see some blue. So when I started going to my California trip, I was here, right? And I thought, there's no way I will finish that color and get to the blue and get to a next color after that. So I only packed the one color, this color that I'm doing now. And then I got to California and I was like, I did way more on the flight out there than I thought I would. So I knew I wouldn't have enough to make the flight back with any knitting. So I didn't want to buy any more yarn because I have so much at home, but at the same time I didn't want to not have knitting for the plane ride. So my mom and I went to the yarn shop and we bought some sock yarn. I got this really pretty yellow color and I did some shorty socks. And I don't know the name of the pattern off the top of my head, but I'll post it. So I got stranded in the airport. So this was one day of traveling. You cast on here and then you knit down, and I cast it on too loose. And I think the heel is a little bit too, it's exactly what the pattern said, but I think it's too short for me. So I don't know if I cast on here and knit it cuff down, can I unpick here and just knit the cuff longer? Because it would be opposite. Will that work, or will it just come unraveled? I don't know. But I absolutely love the color. I love the sock. I just wish it was like to here. Because I don't think it'll stay on my heel. And I wish I hadn't cast this on so loose. I was worried about it being too tight to get over my heel, but it's almost too loose, so it's like floppy. So I think before I cast the second one on, I think I'm going to try to unpick the ribbing and knit it a little bit further up. If it doesn't work, as much as I hate to lose a whole sock, I would rather have a sock that fits. So if it doesn't work, I'll just unravel it and do another pair of shorty socks. But I would do the cuff longer, and maybe I would do the heel a little bit deeper, because it is, this is what it does on my foot. So yeah, so I'll try to fix it before I start the second one, so then I know how long to knit the second cuff for. But if it doesn't work, I'm not out all that much. So yeah, what is this yarn? I have no idea. Did I bring it up? Hang on. I don't know if I even have the ball band in here. Nope. Oh, it's I want to say sugar cake. It might be sugar. It's candy skein. That's what it is. Okay, so it's candy skein yarn in this gorgeous yellow colorway, and it has cashmere in it. So I thought it would feel so good on my feet. But yeah, we'll see. I then realized that I can't get it. This is my favorite shawl. And I realized, look how similar this is. It's like pretty spot on for the same yellow. This one has more like tonal variations in it, but and this one's more shiny. But yeah, can you tell I like this color? It's like pretty close. So I know that since this is my favorite shawl because of the color, not necessarily the shawl, but I figured these will be some good socks because I already love this color. So that is all I have to show you today, knitting wise. I'm dropping everything. I've mainly been working on the Find Your Fade and then the sock on the airplane. The horrible travel day. So I will maybe insert the prize winners in here to let you guys know who won what if you participated in the cowls. Otherwise, if you don't care to hear about updates or the farm or anything like that, I know it's been a super short one, but I figured I just needed to get back in the saddle and podcast. before it was like 2 months. So thank you for visiting. Thank you for checking me out. This is not a normal episode, so don't judge the podcast just by this episode alone, because normally there's a little bit more knitting. But yeah, it's summer, it's life, it's the farm, so I don't know. And we lose our knitting mojos, so we don't have to be into knitting all the time. Like, it's okay to take a break and do something different. So yeah, so thank you for watching. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate absolutely every single one of you. I had somebody contact me on Ravelry, and it made my day. And she was just, like, oh, I haven't seen a podcast in a while. I'm concerned about you. So it just made me feel so special that people care. So thank you guys. I really appreciate all of you. Yeah, come back next time if you don't want to hear any more life updates and you're just here for the knitting. Otherwise, let's talk some news. So, I went out to California, and my trip it had two purposes. One was to go to my nephew's birthday party. They just turned 1, and the last time I saw them was in Hawaii, and they were just babies. I mean, they weren't crawling, they weren't doing anything. And now they're like almost walking. They'll take a couple steps and then just fall down. So I just really wanted to be there for the big party. The second reason was I went out to talk to a couple Starbuckses out there. Now, we are not moving, but we are going to be doing IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, because we cannot get pregnant on our own. So I have PCOS, my husband has some low motility, and I don't ovulate. So it's pretty near impossible for me to get pregnant without medical intervention. So we're going to be doing IVF, and Arkansas only has one clinic. And I've talked about this before, but for those of you who haven't seen a previous episode, we cannot stand the clinic here in Arkansas. We did 3 rounds of IUIs with them, which is like a lower version of infertility treatments. It's kind of like the least invasive way possible, just to see if maybe that's all you need. But we need something more heavy duty than IUIs. So we did 3 months of IUIs with them, and I feel like we gave them a fair chance, and we we can't do it with them. So we started looking at a clinic in Memphis. We absolutely loved the clinic. Unfortunately, it's like 3.5 hours from here, and if you're gonna have to be going like 3 times a week, it's way too much driving for me. And Tim works and he goes to school, and so he couldn't always come if I had to drive 3.5 hours away. And then I'd have to take the whole day off, because then it's 7 hours just in the car, not even including the doctor's appointment. So Memphis, as much as we loved it, it's off the chopping block. So we were kind of stuck. I mean, it was like, do we just suck it up and go with the one in Little Rock, even though we really do not like them? I mean, in the long run, it doesn't matter if you like the clinic. I don't know. But it would not be a good experience going there. I mean, it'll be good in the end if we get pregnant. But, yeah, so we were really wrestling with it. Like, do we just suck it up and go? And then we thought, well, what if I transfer back to California so I can stay with my parents, I can stay with my sisters, and there's 2 clinics within driving distance of my hometown, so I could go to either one of those. And so Starbucks, I work at Starbucks, if you didn't know that, they cover 1 whole round of IVF, which can cost like $20,000. So it's a big deal, and I want to make sure that it's a good experience, because we might only have this 1 round. I don't know what we'll do if it doesn't work, because we'll have to see finance-wise what it's like after that. But, so my benefits kick in May 1st, and I need to keep working in order to have those benefits. So I can't just take 2 months off and go to California and do treatments there, because I need to maintain my insurance. So luckily my hometown has like 8 Starbuckses, So when I was out there this weekend, I went to a couple different ones and found out, if they were hiring or if they had room for me to transfer. One of them, which would be within walking distance of my parents, did not. They just hired quite a few people, so they were full. But I found there was two that I really liked. They both said they had room for me. So I picked the one that's nearest to my sister's house. In case I just want to stay with them for a week or two, then it's maybe like 1.5 miles down the road. So our big news is that I'm going to be transferring to a Starbucks out in California mid-May probably. And well, I'll be out there for a minimum of 2 months, maybe 3, depending on just depending on my cycle and how things go there. So Tim will be staying here in Arkansas. He has work. He'll be on summer break from school. So he'll have a little bit more downtime. And then he's going to manage the farm all by himself. So we really wrestled with this decision. It is the hardest part for me is going to be being away from Tim for 2 months. I mean, he'll come out for a week for his visit, but I've never been away from him for 2 months. When we first got married, he deployed for 15 months, but that was totally different. And I was home, and it wasn't a choice we made. He just got sent overseas, and that was that. So you kind of had to live with it. This is a choice, and so I think it makes it harder because I'm choosing to go away for 2 months. But in the end, I think it'll be totally worth it. What's 2 months? I mean, we've already done 15 months like 10 years ago. So we should be able to handle 2 months. And another reason we chose California over staying in Arkansas is just I'll be surrounded by my family. So IVF is it's physically hard on you. It's emotionally hard on you. And Tim works nights. And so he wouldn't necessarily be here to like do the shots with me. Sorry. So at least in California, my sisters are there, both their husbands, the babies are there, my parents are there, my grandparents are there. One set of grandparents lives here in Arkansas with us, the other is back in my hometown. And they're 90 and 92. And so I think it'll be a really good time to be able to spend 2 months out there with them rather than just, like my grandma and I went to lunch when I went out there. But, maybe that's all we see each other each year is like 1 or 2 times for lunch. So it'll be fun, or not, it'll be good to have 2 months with them, just at the age they're at. And yeah, so we came to that decision. I'm at peace with it. I always have a hard time like thinking I'm going to make the wrong decision. And so when we were debating about California versus Arkansas, I just asked God, I said, send me a sign. Like, if I'm supposed to go to California, just open up the doors, let things fall into place. Because so many things had to fall into place for it to work. So, first off, my manager here had to say I was allowed to transfer. And so I sat down with her, asked her, I said, this is what I want to do. Is it okay? And she said, well, I'll talk to my manager. So then she came back and said, okay, it's fine. You can transfer. And then when you're done, as long as they have a position open here, I can just transfer back whenever I'm ready. So I said, okay, that's one door open. Now we only have like 50 more to open before I make a decision. So then I had to qualify for my insurance. So I just qualified at the end of March, and it starts May 1st. So then I had to look into seeing if the California doctors were covered under my insurance, if the Arkansas doctor was covered, because if either one of them wasn't covered, it would make the choice for me. But they're both covered, so that didn't help anything, but it just kind of opened up that next door to go to California. And then I thought, okay, well, when I'm out there, if nobody has room for me to transfer, obviously I won't be able to transfer, so that'll be that. So, I went to, the first one, they didn't have room, so I was thinking, okay, if the rest of them are like this, I'm just gonna have to settle for Arkansas. So I went to the second one, and they're like, oh, we'd love to have you, here's the paperwork. And then I thought, oh, I'll just go check out the third one, just to see if that one's any different. And so I went and I asked them, I said, do you have any open space for somebody to transfer in? And the words that they said, you would be a godsend. Sorry. Yeah. So California is gonna be it. I'm really excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because a lot of people don't. IVF doesn't work on the first time. Yeah, but I'm really excited. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I've been super emotional lately just about this whole IVF thing. So, California, mid-May. I'm so excited. It's a lot to try to get ready for here at the tiny house. Just thinking I won't be here for the summer. So I'm kind of in like preparedness mode, and I want to make sure that everything is set for Tim so that he just doesn't have to worry, or so that I can make it as easy as possible on him, I guess. Yeah, sorry. So the farm. The farm is so fun, guys. We have 4 baby goats. 2 of them are from our mamas. And so we're up to 10 goats. I'm not sure how many goats we had when I last talked to you guys about it. But I think we have 10. So we have 4 mamas, 4 babies, and then 2 boys. Plus the sheep. So 3 of our mamas we only had 3 goats. And they were all pregnant. The first one gave birth. It didn't make it. Both Tim and I were at work, and so Tim found it. He thinks the sac never burst, and so it suffocated, which is so sad because it was like this perfectly formed little doe. And so to make it that far and then to suffocate was a tough blow. The next 2 goats, they both had perfect deliveries. So we have 1 buckling and 1 little doeling. And they're doing well. The mamas had no trouble with them. One of them, she'd had the 1 goat, or the baby, and I was sure she had another one. So I sat out with her for like 3 hours in the rain. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's pushing, and so I'm thinking, this is it. I've got my video camera ready. I just watched her deliver the placenta. That was all. There was no baby. I'm like, I sat up for 4 hours for this. But it was grossly interesting. I'll say that. So then we had the 3 mamas, the 2 babies. Then we went to go trade our buck. So my girlfriend has a registered buck, and we had a registered buck, like both purebreds. So we decided we would swap. So that way next year we can breed the new buck to the babies, or to the 1 baby girl that survived. And it won't be breeding back to her dad. So this guy's unrelated, so we can breed him to all of our girls without any incest. So when we went to pick up him, she said, hey, I have this other goat. She had twins, the goat did. And so she's a good mama, but her udder is very malformed. And so my friend just didn't have time to milk her. You have to hand milk her. You can't put her on a machine because her udder is so messed up. And she's a good milker. I mean, she gives a lot of milk. So I'm not sure. My friend got her from somebody else, and she's not sure her history, but she came to my friend with the malformed udder. So it's not my friend's fault at all. But, she said, do you just want this goat? Like, I don't have time to deal with her properly and give her the attention she needs. So I said, sure. I'll do my best with her. I have to hand milk the other girls, only because we don't have a milking machine. So what's 1 more girl? So we went to trade 1, and then we came home with 1 extra. So then we had 3 mamas, 2 babies, 1 boy, and then the new girl. Then our neighbor across the highway has boar goats, which is a different breed. They're a meat goat. And we asked him about buying 1 of his baby goats. And he said, oh, I'll trade you. And so all he wanted in return was some eggs he just said eggs. So we traded him some eggs, and we've been taking him over like some canned jam that I made last summer. So jam and eggs, and we thought we were getting 1 baby goat, and he gave us 2. So we got a little girl and a little boy. So that brought our total to 9 goats. And then I got one more from another lady that we got one of the mamas from last year. So we're at 10 goats. No more goats for us. That is enough. We're going to be selling the little buckling that was born here, and then we'll be back down to 9 goats. Yeah, so the goats are super fun. The chickens are prolific layers. Oh my goodness. I'm getting like 15 to 20 eggs a day. It is so many eggs. So the pigs are enjoying lots of eggs. All my friends are getting eggs. Yeah, it's like every day's an Easter egg hunt. What else? The pigs! Oh my goodness, guys. They are so big. Yeah, they are just... They're like overly curious, and they're so anxious. So as soon as they see you out, and about in the yard, they want you to come play with them. They start grunting. They sound like they're gonna hyperventilate. But we love the pigs. So they're fun. The garden is in. It is growing. That was another thing about going to California is I've planted this huge garden and I won't be here. And Tim, he can only eat so much lettuce or so many jalapenos. And I was planning on canning a lot. I probably planted like 20 jalapeno plants because I thought I can can it, but now I won't be here. So we might get a freezer, like a chest freezer or an outside freezer. So that way Tim can just freeze all the produce and it doesn't go to waste. Otherwise, it's going to be just giving it away to people, which is fine too. I just feel like we've put in so much effort to just have it gone would be kind of sad. But, again, if we get pregnant, I don't really care about the garden. I would rather, I care about it, but I would rather have a baby and no garden than a garden and no baby. So, the garden's doing well. The bees! Oh my goodness. Okay, so we had, sorry, I'm like getting so excited. We had one hive last year that we bought. It swarmed, so basically half of the bees, maybe, they take the queen with them, and they just decide there's no more room in the inn, they're gonna go move out. So they take their queen, and they leave behind queen eggs, so that way the rest of the bees that they've left can make their own, or rear their own queen, and they won't be queenless. A queenless beehive will die out. So they need a queen to survive. Sorry, it's the dogs. So last year they split and they swarmed. So we went out, we got a new box, we caught the swarm, and then we had 2 hives. This year they swarmed again. So they moved to another tree, and luckily Tim noticed them. So we went out, we bought a 3rd box, and they didn't have any beehives like anywhere near us. So we had to drive like 2 hours to get a beehive. But it was that or lose the swarm, and we really wanted to save the swarm. So we were able to, we got a beehive, we got it painted, got it ready, and we had to cut down the tree again, and then we caught the swarm. So now we've only bought 1 beehive, 1 package of bees, and now we have 3 hives. So I'm hoping this year we'll get some honey, but that's super exciting. So I think that's everything on the farm. Pigs, bees, the sheep's still going strong. Yeah. I've been working a ton. You have to get, in 3 months, you have to get like 240 or 250 hours, I think, to qualify. It's some certain number of hours in 3 months to qualify for insurance. So the first 3 months, I was 4 hours short. And so that would have meant I would have had my insurance this month instead of next month. So I was so upset that I was that close and didn't make it. So I've just been saying yes to anybody who wants me to take their shift because I wanted to ensure that this next round that I met, the minimum number of hours. So I way surpassed it. That wasn't even an issue this 3 months, which means that I got my insurance. So now I just turned in my transfer paperwork today, and I sat down, or I asked my boss again, is it still okay? And she said, absolutely. My boss might be doing infertility treatments too, so she is very understanding about that. Yeah, so it's official. I turned in my paperwork. So my boss has to sign off on it, and then she passes it to the regional manager. She has to sign off on it, and then they send it out to the manager in California, and she has to sign off on it. But I already have her permission because I went and talked to her. I have my managers, so we're just waiting on it to be on the desk of the district manager. So, yeah, pray that that goes through smoothly. That's the only thing holding me back right now. I'm looking at, I think like May 10 is my target date for moving out to California for 2 months. I have a doctor's appointment on May 15th out in California with one of the clinics, and I'm going to make an appointment with the other clinic, and then I can see which one I like better, or which one fits with my insurance better. So, yeah, big news, exciting news. That said, podcast wise, what am I going to do? I'm not sure how podcasting will go once I'm in California. I will not have my computer, which is where I upload all my videos from. So I'm going to have to figure out maybe how to edit it on the iPad and then upload it from there. So they might be shorter podcasts. Obviously, I won't talk for an hour about the farm while I'm out there. But, and I don't know how much I'll talk about infertility once I'm out there, or if I'll just do a separate infertility video. So if you guys don't care at all about infertility, which is totally fine, you don't have to. And I'm thankful for whoever is still watching this despite my meltdown. But if you guys want to learn more about IVF, because I feel like there's such a, I don't know if it's a stigma or what around infertility. Like, it's such a hush-hush thing, and nobody wants to talk about it. And when I say I'm doing IVF, everybody's like, like, you're doing what? So I want to give an accurate portrayal of what we're going through, and kind of just show people this is what some people have to go through to get a kid. So many people have told me, why don't you just adopt? And we are totally open to adopting. I highly believe we will adopt at some point, whether or not we have biological children. So it's not a settling thing like, oh, we couldn't have kids of our own, so we just adopted. We're going to adopt because it's really on our hearts. We really want to adopt. Unfortunately, in the tiny house right now, we can't. We don't have running water. We don't have septic. We have an outhouse, which is fine for us. We love it. And we're working on the running water part. But adoption agencies, you have to, they're so tight on home inspections and square footage, and you have to have a separate bedroom for the child. And we just have a tiny house. There's no bedroom, there's no doors, there's nothing in here. And you can see half of our walls are not even put up. So there's the insulation, and that's it. So adoption, we absolutely want to adopt at some point. Probably not when we're in the tiny house. Yeah, so right now we're going to focus on doing infertility, and I just want to show people and kind of explain it to people. So, for those of you who have any questions, ask away. I might have another meltdown talking about it, but I'm an open book, and I'm so excited to share with you guys just what's going on in our lives. Yeah. So, I think I was trying to say I don't know what podcasting is going to look like once I get out to California. I have about 3 weeks left in Arkansas. So I'm going to try to podcast once more, maybe twice more in these 3 weeks. Yeah, and then we'll see what California looks like. I don't know if I'm going to be like cursing at the world during IVF. I feel like if I'm this emotional now, I'm going to be a wreck when I'm taking hormone shots. And I have a deathly fear of needles. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough. But it's going to be so worth it, I think. And I'm so thankful to have this opportunity to at least try one round, because otherwise we couldn't pay for it. So, yeah, for all of you who buy your $5 cup of coffee at Starbucks, thank you, because it pays for my insurance. So, yeah, I will never gripe about paying a $5 coffee again, even though we're on a tight budget. But, yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys right now. It is getting dark, so I'll either film the, the Cal winners, I'll film them tomorrow, or I'll just insert them in text. But yeah, if you're a winner, let me get back to me. Let me know. I need your name, in case I only have your Instagram name or your Ravelry name. I need your first and last name. I need your address. And yeah, I will send out prizes as soon as I get the information from y'all. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this kind of morphed into an infertility homesteading show, but that's life, and that's where I'm at right now. So, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for sticking with me over my month hiatus, and I will see you guys later. Alright, take care. Alright, knitting friends, I thought you all might want to see the goats. So this is all of the mamas and the babies. So there's Tiny, her baby is this little boy. Trixie, her baby died. Tilly, her baby is this little girl. This is Scarlet. You can kind of see how her udder is misshapen. And then these two, the white one's the one we got from the neighbor, and this is Charlotte, the one we purchased. So these are all of our babies. There's their house. You can see it's getting to be night, so the chickens have all put themselves to bed. Every night they go back to their house. And yeah. Here's, oh, Scarlett's going to the bathroom. Down here we have the puppy. This is Atlas. I don't know if we had him last episode, but he's pretty stinking cute. Yeah, I'm gonna show off for you guys. And all of the goats. So they are pretty happy. Yeah, hi Tilly. Tilly's got these waddles. I don't know if you can see. See right there, they hang down. We call them goat jewelry. It's totally random. Some goats have them. She's the only one of ours that does. And I was hoping her baby would, but it did not get that gene. What do you smell? So yeah. That's Albert. He's the little buckling. This is Victoria. She's the little doeling. And Charlotte. This one's Jane. So we did J for jam, A-N for and then E for eggs, because we traded her for the jam and eggs. So that's how she got the name Jane. But yeah, that's pretty much the, oh bless you, the goats, and we love them. And a goofball. Alright guys, so I came out to use the outhouse, and I thought you guys might want to see more of the homestead and the animals. So I probably already showed you the goats by now, but we're walking over to go visit the pigs, and you can see the tiny house in the background. So on one side of the property we have the girls, on the other side are the boys and the pigs. You have to keep the girls and the boys separate or the milk will taste bad. So for those of you who have ever tried goat's milk and it had an odd taste, it is most likely because the girls were near the boys. Those stinky boys. So we have ours way apart, so that's not an issue. So our milk is, I think, pretty darn good. But I'm going to flip you around. We'll see the garden, we'll see the pigs, and you might be able to see some of the sunset. Ignore the trash pile. Alright, here you guys go. Alrighty, we're looking at the garden. So we've got the beehives in the back. This bed here is potatoes. This bed here is jalapenos. These two beds here, there's an archway connecting them. So there's cabbage, there's peas, there's kale, lettuce. What else do we have? This bed is mostly sweet potatoes and lettuce and some rosemary. That bed is our salsa bed. Oh no, that's not. The other bed is. Sorry, there's a cat crying. That one has, the middle one has tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli. That back bed there has asparagus, and we planted some squash in the corners. There's squash in that sad bed over there that doesn't have a frame. This bed here is my pie bed, so it has strawberries and rhubarb. And then this bed here is my salsa bed, so it has hot peppers, it's got cilantro, it's got dill, it's got tomatoes, and I think a random head of lettuce. But yeah, that's the garden. I'm going to spin you around and try not to get y'all sick. But here's the boy goats. So Joseph, the tall one, is a Nubian. He's going to breed with the mamas that we just saw earlier. The brown and white one is from the neighbor. He's a meat goat. Over here comes Stash, and Valkyrie, the dog, is somewhere in there. But let's go look at the pigs. So this one here is Tank. He's got his little pen. Hi, buddy. So he's going to be our breeding male. And then, the other two might be in bed already, but let's see if they'll come out for us. Pigs! You can hear him talking. Pigs! Are you guys gonna come out? Huh? You gonna come out? Can you guys hear him grunting in there? They might be sleeping. Look, we have our own Charlotte's Web. Can you see her right there? So she's got this big web right here in the corner. And I think it's pretty funny. Alright, well these guys I guess are gonna stay in bed. Yeah, they've got their own little kiddie pool. So when it rains, the rain runs off the roof. There's a gutter on the other side, which empties into the kiddie pool. So, it's a pretty neat little system. But, alright, well, never mind about the pigs. Here they come. Hi, babies. Hi. I didn't bring you any goodies. Yeah. Did I wake you guys up? I'm sorry. Look at that big dog. Alright, so this one's the girl. She's a lighter colored, and then the boy is a darker colored. No, the other way around. The girl is darker, the boy's lighter. The boy has a sock. I'm sorry, and you can see some pig poop. And Atlas kind of just follows us around. Oh, and they're gonna pee, okay. Atlas follows us around wherever we go on the farm. So, he's still little enough that he can squeeze he can squeeze in between these squares in the fencing, and he can squeeze under the electric wire. So, until he gets a little bit bigger, he just kind of free roams. He doesn't really go anywhere, but yeah, so here's the pigs. Alright, good night, babies. Alright, I just wanted to pop back on real quick. I know it's getting dark, but I wanted to tell you guys that we started a homestead channel. So, we're going to be showing more of what's going on the homestead in depth over there. I don't want to take over the knitting podcast with homesteady stuff in case you're not interested. But, the channel is called Victory Garden Homestead. You see the puppy back there? So Victory Garden Homestead is our YouTube channel where we're going to show, we showed how the bees swarmed. We give more of a tour of the homestead. We talk about our rainwater catchment systems and how we don't have a well water here. And we don't have city water. We do solely rainwater. Yeah. And we show more of the animals. So if you guys are interested in homesteady stuff, or you want to see Tim's on there, we just talk more in depth about the farm. So Victory Garden Homestead on YouTube. We would love if you guys would come check us out. It's brand new, so there's only like 3 videos. But yeah, that way I can kind of separate the knitting from the homesteading, because I just want to show you guys everything. But maybe you're only here for the knitting. So go check us out on YouTube, Victory Garden Homestead, and I will catch you guys later. Alright, bye. Alright, hey guys, I know it's dark, and you probably can hear all the crickets outside chirping, but I wanted to film the last little segment, just to show the winners for the cows that we did. So, I used random number generator, and I pulled from the shawl finished object thread, the shawl chatter thread, and the sweater finished object thread. Excuse me. Jasmine from the Knitted Towel has the sweater chatter, But from here on out, because we're both not sure how podcasting schedules are going to go, we're each going to host our own chatter and finished objects. So, we're still running the Cal together, but we're going to do prizes on our own, just so that neither one of us feel like we're slacking if we don't get a podcast out on time. So, that said, I pulled from the shawl finished object, and it was number 35, who is Milo Levi. And they knit the Pure Joy shawl. So, their picture was it blocking on, like, those plastic blocking mats. And it looks really pretty. And that one is still on my list of shawls I want to knit. So yours turned out gorgeous, and just get in contact with me. It's Milo Levi. Okay, then and I'm not going to show the prizes. You guys will just have to trust me. They're in a bin, and it's dark. So, and I really want to get this uploaded tonight. So I will pick 3 indie dyed sock yarns to send out to you guys. Yeah. So Milo Levi is the first winner. The second winner is from the shawl Chatter, and that was number 75, and it's Sumpole 79. So it's SUMPOL 79, and that is Zoe from the UK. So congratulations. Just again, get in touch with me. I need your name, your full name, and your address, especially if I'm sending it overseas. Okay, so then the sweater finished object, the winner was Quiet Zone, and I believe I have your address, but go ahead and just contact me and let me know you saw this and send it to me again, so I don't have to sift through all my Ravelry messages. But she knit a Mama Vertebrae with my absolute favorite color green. I'm like obsessed with that color green right now. It's like a poison green almost. So it looked super cute. It was a Mama Vertebrae, and I've knit that one. It is an awesome little baby knit. So congratulations to Quiet Zone, to Sumpole 79, I'm sure I'm butchering that, and to Milo Levi. So thank you guys so much for entering the Cal. From here on out, we will be continuing the sweater Cal. So I will open up a sweater Chatter, because I believe I have the finished objects. Well, obviously, since I just pulled a winner from them. So we will continue the finished objects for the sweaters, as well as the Chatter for the sweaters. And I will leave the shawl along Cal, the threads up, but that Cal is now over. So, you guys can still chatter and still post what you've finished, but, there will be no more prizes for the shawl. But, yeah, get knitting on those sweaters. So, thanks guys, and sorry for the grainy, dark cricket noises. But, yeah, I just wanted to let the winners know that they won. So, congratulations. Alright, bye.